Hey, what's up, everybody? Today we're talking about the news of the day. Alan Hurns has released the series. Cab mode time. All right, so this news broke earlier today, so I'm sure a lot of you already know what's going on here. So Alan Hurns has been released, saving the Cowboys approximately $5 million in cap space. To me, what this means for me is this release adds more money to the cap, and it kind of points towards maybe we're going to see some extensions starting, to trickle down now. All right, we've talked about them all off season. The approximation of how much it would take to keep, somebody like Amari Cooper here. How much it's going to take to keep Dak Prescott, to extend him, and as well as Ezekiel Elliott. He's in the news here recently too. He wants to be amongst the people at the table, right? Talking about getting extensions. So this money, it's a pretty good amount of money. Cowboys they're not tight on the cap yet, but if you're able to increase some of these contracts, you will need some of that buffer, because you do need some buffer there for mid-season trades or mid-season acquisitions. You do need to have some cash available. So if some extensions are coming here pretty quick, which I think that's what this is. Obviously, they're talking about, they asked him to take the pay cut. He didn't want it, and so he'd rather hit free agency. So they obliged him to that. That's part of it, but the other part of it is also that there's a game plan in place. All right, so the wide receiver group continues to churn. We're talking about last year at the end of the 53-man cuts. It was Beasley, Hurns, Tavon, Gallup, Terrence Williams, and Brown. Those were the guys that were on the 53 the day after cuts. All right, the wide receiver core has transformed immensely. It's changed a lot, and that's something that the Cowboys needed to do, especially with Prescott. So, we have good pieces in place: Amari Cooper, Gallup, and Randall Cobb. All right. So what does this mean? This is good news. If you're a player like Noah Brown, Tavon Austin, any of these other players, your morale, your confidence has to be, bolstered by this, because that's one less receiver to have to compete against. All right, a veteran wide receiver. All right, so it's going to be interesting to see, if they go 6 deep, which I think they will. Who will those final 3 be? It's going to be up for grabs. We talked about that as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see who lasts. All right, who can stay healthy. All right, because this team is too loaded right now. All right, it's loaded. There's going to be good players hitting the market. All right, they're going to be gobbled up by some of these other teams that are looking for talent. Cowboys have it all over the place, all up and down this roster. Offensive line, defensive line, linebackers, wide receivers. There will be good players that are not going to make this team. All right, whether you're a fan of a Noah Brown or a Tavon Austin or these types of players, some of them may not come back. So that's the other part of the league. There's the business side. It's a bit cutthroat. Why do they release players this late in the game? Whether it's like a Dez Bryant last year or Alan Hurns, to me, I think it's partially strategy. You really don't want these players to go to the in division. So I think that's a part of what this is. And then there's a couple of moving parts in place as to why players get released when they do. All right, but it is what it is. But once you're not a Cowboy, you're not a Cowboy, and it's full speed ahead with the guys that you do have, and we do have a really good core here. So I'm expecting some extension news to come out of this pretty soon. Like I said, I'd rather have Dak Prescott, clear-minded for training camp, have this contract out of the way. You don't want this to linger, all right? You do not want this contract to linger into the season, because you do have big contracts coming up for the 2017 guys, and those contracts can begin in December. So you're talking about Patrick Mahomes, Mitchell Trubisky, those guys. So ideally, get Dak Prescott locked up right now. Don't let this linger during the season, and definitely don't let it go past December. Because I'm telling you, Mahomes and Mitchell, those guys' contracts, they're going to be crazy. They're going to be big. These contracts are going to continue to get bigger and bigger. With the revenue the league is getting, the increase of cap space increasing, those two contracts for those guys 2017 are going to be big. They're going to blow away Carson Wentz and those guys. So Cowboys, get this out of the way. Get Amari Cooper done. And show Ezekiel Elliott some love. Start those negotiations as well. Let's go into the season clear-minded and ready to go for training camp, preseason, and the 2019 season, baby. The 2019 NFL season is weeks away. I love it. I love it. Let me know what you guys think about the release. What do you think it means for the wide receivers and the extensions? All right. Do you feel like this is the first domino to try to lock up some of these veteran guys? Right. Let me know what you guys think. Continue to like this video. Hit like on this. It helps it out. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you for the next video, guys. Peace.